Mr. Busy has a very interesting design. This is one of the Mr. Men characters who didn't really spring to my mind whenever I think about the stories, and the narrative itself I didn't remember either. With regards to what number he is number 38, and I'm pretty sure this was published when I was, 1978, as part of one of the original lot, but for whatever reason, the character didn't kind of ring any bells with me, and neither did the story. Reading it now as an adult, I'd say it's pretty decent, and definitely is a way of reminding people that not everybody can rush around as much as you can and get as much done in perhaps the same amount of time. So it starts off with an introduction to Mr. Busy and the fact that he's always rushing around and getting everything done. I love the design of that. I think that looks absolutely brilliant. And then we meet our second character, Mr. Slow. And obviously Mr. Busy and Mr. Slow are kind of opposites. And Mr. Busy goes to Mr. Slow's house and says, "Hey, let's have a picnic." Mr. Slow's, I don't want to have a picnic. And Mr. Busy basically demands that he has to have a picnic. And Mr. Slow is mortified. But also, can we just take a moment to look at that? So there's Mr. Slow. There is also Mr. Slow. Mr. Slow has changed colour. I'd be surprised if that was in the original print. It seems weird that they wouldn't correct the colour of Mr. Slow. So that's just something that stood out to me as being a bit peculiar. But nevertheless, when it comes down to the picnic, Mr. Slow is hiding under his bed and Mr. Busy has to have a picnic by himself. I love the colour of that door. I think that's a beautiful colour. And it's a really important message about the fact that you may be able to rush around and you may like being busy, but not everybody can. And sometimes you need to just take a step back, go with the flow. I'm not saying you have to be as slow as Mr. Slow, but sometimes it's important to accept that your pace is not the pace of your friends. You need to compromise a little bit. It's quite a good story. It's not the most in-depth. It doesn't have the most important message, although consideration for other people's paces is obviously quite important. Not my favourite book. Maybe I didn't remember it because the story's not that amazing. But at the same time, it's not bad. It's an important message. Mr. Slow is a pretty good character in this one. Not a bad book at all.